I'm Jordan Wilkins, and the world is going to end. It sounds extreme, but the reality is climate change is having an effect on the world, and we're not doing enough to combat it. So, why am I here? Well, my plan is to try and raise £1,000 in order to come up with a prototype for my idea. So my idea would be to shrink the wind turbines and combine them with the solar panel technology in order to end up with a best of both worlds type of situation. The idea being that lots smaller miniature turbines would help to generate the same sort of power whilst being more affordable and less of an eyesore to the public, therefore making them a viable option. Solar panels are expensive and not really that useful in a country like England where, well, we have cloudy skies most of the time. And wind turbines are often considered too large and seen as monstrosities in areas and therefore aren't really viable ideas going forward. So I'm here today to try and get the £1,000 to come up with a model of this idea. With the largest donation from a single person being allowed to name the project, within reason of course. There are also smaller rewards for smaller donations such as mugs and t-shirts. Thank you for the time that you've taken out of your busy days to watch this pitch, and I hope you donate soon. This is my video that explains my innovation project. I feel that my product was innovative because it took products that already existed on the market and tried to find an area for them to be better put to use. My idea being that you took a wind turbine that's quite large and bulky and therefore is not very popular because of the fact that it's quite an eyesore, and the solar panels, which whilst look nice are quite expensive, and to bring them together to try and therefore use a smaller system of the wind turbine and using the solar panels in order to come up with a product that was feasible and yet could still help come up with a renewable energy source. My competition for this product would be everybody that's already trying to find some sort of renewable energy, particularly those in the solar and wind turbine areas of the market, because I would essentially be trying to push them out by coming up with a better, more affordable use of their own existing products. The target market again would be similar to theirs, making the competition fiercer, because I would be trying to help look for people who are looking for an affordable way to try and come up with a renewable energy and help get it so that people could try and stand on their own 2 feet when trying to come up with renewable energy. I'm not sure how feasible this would be, however, because energy renewability is an expensive market, and therefore I think I need to be working out how much a model would cost before start talking about prices. I asked in the video for £1,000 just so that I could come up with a basic model, just to work out if the idea actually was a worthwhile one going forward. I felt that whilst £1,000 is a lot to ask for, it would be necessary in order to come up with a decent model and work out if the idea was better going forward, with the idea being that it was better to ask for more money in the beginning and for us to realise that the idea was a complete no-hoper than to go forward with an idea hoping without really ever testing it out and then end up investing more money and for that all to fall through when we discover that the idea doesn't work. With the money that we would be funding, we would be trying to come up with an actual working model on perhaps a smaller scale than we would go with in the long term, just to double check that the idea could definitely work. This would be difficult because of the fact that it's not a easily sort of tangible product. Like, whilst you can see and touch it, it's not something you could just go and put on store shelves, and so you would need to be careful about how you try to distribute the product in future. You could never have a shop that just sold this product, because even though they're small, it would be quite a technologically complicated product, and therefore you would need to be considerate about who could be able to install such a product, and therefore would require quite specialized staff in order to help install said products. This is where something you'd have to look at once you knew that the product was capable of working, because then you would have to work with a team so that they could actually install the products in future. The marketing and pricing, so like the 4Ps essentially, you would have to think about how to market a product without, while still reaching the right people. Because with this sort of product, like I've said previously, it's not one that you would go and just put in shops. You would have to be in the market. You wouldn't get people who are sort of, you're not going to just grab people randomly. It's going to have to be people that are looking for an renewable energy distributor. What you would need to do is what I would need to do is to stand out by making sure that I could show how diverse the product would be and that it would suit all climates, which is different to anything that's currently on the market, because obviously solar energy, you require the sun. Wind, you require wind. Hydroelectricity, you require a certain amount of water, and therefore, so with my solar and wind product coming together, it could be used, because you're always going to get at least sun or wind, especially in England. Pricing, it would be a very premium pricing because it's an expensive product. However, the size, the fact that the wind turbines themselves would be smaller than a current wind turbine would probably mean that we'd be cheaper than them. However, it would still be an expensive product because it requires very specialist equipment to begin with. The profitability wouldn't be the most important aspect of this project, because it is more about the renewable energy rather than making money, but there would still be an opportunity to make a decent markup on each product, because people would be willing to pay the money in order to create more renewable energy, and they'd be willing to do it because it would save them money in other places, because they would be less reliant on outside companies, gas, electricity.